Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about all things Cuban. And even Ray's got a Cuban cigar. Ray, you know, normally you're smoking something really interesting and strange.
It's still interesting.
I mean, it's still interesting. What are you smoking today?
I'm smoking Romeo and Julieta Churchill.
Damn.
Which is old. I don't know how old. I get 3 of those cigars on auction 2-3 years ago.
I think that's 1997, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's way older than that.
Is it older than that?
I think it's probably early 90s,
So
late
it's not
80s.
the Aniados, it's the original.
Yeah, that's the original. There's no red band.
Oh, yeah.
And the tube is old. You know, the similar tubes been made in a few different decades, but this is old one with all the signs and stuff. I reckon 80s, maybe early 90s.
Wow.
So we'll see.
I got a box of them a little while ago. And we had, you know, we kind of cracked it open, we went through it. We actually went through it together. And that was the Aniado series, but they were from 1997.
Yeah. This is older. It's a round, so it's not box press because it's in the tube.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. If you want round cigars in Cuba, buy tubes.
You gotta get the tubes, yeah.
Because everything else is box press.
It's literally box press.
Yeah, especially the 25 count boxes.
They just squeeze them in.
They squeeze them, yeah.
They squeeze them in. Today I'm going to be enjoying the Por Larrañaga picadores. So nothing aged, nothing special, but this is one of the interesting thing about this cigar is the fact that it's, if I'm not mistaken, the only Por Larrañaga with not the which doesn't have the completely gold band, isn't it? Because all the others, current production,
I think so, yeah.
Current production, all of the other Por Larrañagas, they're all fully gold bands. I love the band on the Por Larrañaga, but this one has red and white in the actual cigar band as well. And the reason for that, Ray told me about this, is that this is a special release or limited release for LCDH and Havana specialty stores only. So you can't buy these in any other kind of stores. But that's what it is. I like this cigar. Almost so number 4 in terms of size. So 5 inches, 48 ring gauge. I like that size. It's a good size for a cigar, in my opinion. But Ray is just there lighting his cigar with his gun. Show him the gun, show him the gun, show him the gun.
It's a fancy lighter.
Listen, I tried lighting that, right? I thought the flame was going to come out of the barrel, but it doesn't. It comes out of the top.
It's a 1970s Japanese lighter.
It's a cool lighter.
Yes.
It surprised me when I flicked it back. I was like, wait, it's coming out from the top, not the barrel.
I like it.
I like that.
It's one of my favorite lighters. But I don't carry it a lot for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Did I tell you I got my DuPont fixed?
Is it make the fling? Is it make properly close now?
No. They're not gonna replace. I mean, they replaced it, so I sent it off to repair, right? And because I had that, you know, dent on the front, and the jet flame didn't work, but this now it just works perfectly every time, right? And also I couldn't increase the maximum flame on this, right? It was just stuck on one thing. A lot of things wrong with the lighter. I sent it off to DuPont, and then like ages later they sent me this back. I thought they fixed it. It's not. They just sent me a new one. Because I checked the serial number, it's different.
So they send you a brand new one?
They just sent me a brand new one. They couldn't be bothered fixing it, right? I thought for a second, ooh, I might get lucky. They might send me the one with the new cling. No cling. Which sucks, but you know. I mean, it doesn't suck. I'm happy because I got my lighter and it works. So I'm happy about that. But it would have been nice, right? Because have you seen the new ones? The new ones have the...
no, it's over my budget, man. You see my cheap Japanese lighter from 1970s? It's over my budget.
That's because you spend all your money on cigars.
Yes.
I spent all my
money.
Smart
guy.
I spent all my money on junk.
Yes, you stupid guy.
Thanks for that. I thought you were going to say something nice to me.
You spend it on junk stuff, mate. Buy cigars.
But I didn't pay for that.
Right, what are we going to talk tonight?
Cubanos.
I hate that.
I'm going to cut that bit out. Mate, Cuban Festival just happened, or the Habanos Festival, I should say. And some interesting things came through. Yeah, I think so anyway.
Okay.
First thing I want to talk about is the Partagas. You saw the Partagas, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think of them?
I like it. I like colors. And especially when you move from that boring red colors to blue, gold.
But I
like it. The look of it, I like them.
You know when I first...
What are they called? Selección de Maestros.
Línea Maestros.
Línea Maestros.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They look
3
nice,
new
though.
sizes, complete new sizes, 109 cup.
Apparently they're not new. Apparently the molds for them have been around. Like
Who
it's an
told you
old
that?
mold. I don't know. I read it.
I don't think Cubans make that big ring gauges back in the time, so
I don't think so.
I don't.
I highly doubt it. They might have found the molds or bought the molds from somewhere, or they might have been old molds, but I doubt that they bought. It's definitely not, because it's a big cigar. I mean, they're classified as bellicoso to some extent, because they call bellicoso, but then no.
Well, the cup is 109 style.
The cap is like a bellicoso style.
It's more
It's
rounded.
rounder.
Yeah,
It's
109.
rounder. Yeah.
That's what they call them.
So it's not like the Monty number 2. It's not like the Partagas CVP number 2. It's kind of
It's like Britannica's extra cup.
yeah.
That's 109.
Yeah, but why do they use the word bellicoso for that then? Because Bolivar bellicoso is pointier.
Yeah.
Quite a bit pointier.
Yeah.
Noticeably pointier. So
I don't know why they use it. I mean, Cuba can do whatever he wants.
they
you know.
can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want. They decide to name it whatever, they name it whatever.
And people still buy it.
Oh, yeah.
But can I say one thing though? That cigar, you know the first time I saw it? Swear to God, I thought it was a New World cigar. Did you think that at all? No? Am I the only one? Am I the only one?
Because I know the New World Partagas, man.
No, but I didn't even see the name, right? I just saw the blue color and the gold band, and I looked at it and I immediately thought, that looks a bit like a New World cigar. And then I was like, oh wait, that's a Partagas. Wait, Partagas blue band? What's going on here? And then I looked more into it and I was like, okay, it's the new Partagas Linea Maestra series. But blue's kind of like historically not been a color that Habanos have used. I mean, to me that reminds me of Nicaragua. Blue reminds me of Nicaragua.
To a certain extent, yes.
Am I wrong though? Like blue's a Nicaraguan color. Are you seriously? Look at this. No, do it, go on, do it.
Well, story time. I'm posting you. Yes.
You're gonna post a story.
We need to promote. If I can focus. Yeah, that's posting what we're doing here, you know.
This bench, look at him. It's like properly focused, concentrating everything. Sorry, I'm just looking at the screen, looking at him.
Why are you looking at me? You can keep talking.
No. I want people to know what you're doing right now. It's enjoyable. Are you satisfied? Are you happy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So am I the only knobhead who thought, oh, this looks like a New World cigar?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, back me up a little bit. Back me up a little bit.
I didn't think it. I saw it when I read it, you know.
You did? What, did you just
I
look
see
at the
it in the
pictures
same.
and thought,
Well, I didn't look at the pictures. I read the articles and I saw it. Partagas, Habano, you know, Cuban release of Partagas, etc., etc. And I saw the pictures with the blue cigars, and then I zoom and check it out and everything. But I didn't see the picture first, and I was thinking, oh, that's another general or whoever owned the Partagas.
I didn't think general at all. What I thought, like, I saw it and then it's like I saw the pictures because they just kind of came up on my homepage, right? So I was on Facebook, picture came up, and I was like, so I'm just scrolling through, and I was like, oh, it's a New World cigar. And then I stopped. Wait, that isn't something special about this. Something looks different. And I was like, oh wait, it's a Partagas. Is it Habanos Partagas? And it is, but blue's not a color that I associate with Cuba. Cuba, it's like red and gold, right? That's their color. I mean, red and gold. I mean, look at
Don't forget, Cuba have a blue in their flag.
True. But they've never used blue before.
Well,
especially not on the bands.
no on the bands. I think they use gold. They use red, obviously. Blue. I don't remember as well anything
I can't think of
with blue.
a single one.
And not that good. That is now proper blue one. It's not like something on the drop somewhere.
Oh yeah. The full band is completely blue. It's like they've gone way in. The box is blue. The bands are blue. They only did the La Gloria Cubana one where the humidor box was blue, but just the box. Like I've got the cigar at home. The band is still gold and red. They've still gone with the same historic colors of La Gloria Cubana. Partagas historically, that's a red. You think of Partagas, you think red and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
They've completely changed that. So, in terms of like branding, I like it.
Well, they do all the time with those limited series, the new lines, let's call it that way. The new, like the first one, Linea 1935 on Monte Cristo. It was a completely different band.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the brownish and gold and everything. Okay, Monte Cristo is in a brown.
The colors were the same though. The colors were the same.
It's a little bit different brown.
They used purple in that one.
Yeah. So then you have the Linea de Oro.
Yes.
Which is gold band. I mean, What have gold band? The Polar and Aga. There's no other
Romeo
that much
Juliet.
gold in bands.
But it was still red and gold.
Yeah, but it's majority gold.
Yeah, yeah.
And now you have Partagas where you don't want to put another gold band.
No, 'cause
you
it's
don't
too
want to put red band because it's already red.
the
So
same
what?
thing, yeah.
Put green, but green already been associated with green tubes in punch,
No,
green in
green
humidors.
Green they
Trinidad-
reserve it for like Punch and Monte Cristo.
Yes, Trinidad as well. Boxes are greenish, so I don't think green is an option.
No.
So they need to put something
They wanted to do
weird
something
one,
special, yeah.
or bring one of the main colors like blue or anything like that. So that's why.
It looks gorgeous though.
And also, I probably don't know most of the non-Cuban Partagas, but I don't think there's a blue one. So maybe they pay attention on this one. There's a black one, there's
Yes.
a gold one,
Yes.
there's a red one,
There's a red one.
but because there's a blue Romeo and Julieta,
Yes.
which is the new Nicaragua Royal Reserva,
Yeah.
that's same color blend, but that's Romeo, not Partagas.
Yeah.
So Partagas, instead of the non-Cuban Partagas, I don't think there's a blue one.
What do you think the price is going to be on these ones?
Well, I mean, that would be classed as same as a Linea de Oro and Linea in
So it's going to be
1935.
about like 55,
So-
60 each. you
And
think?
they're big, they're more than that.
Oh, they're big cigars, aren't they?
They're big cigars.
Yeah.
And again, they will be released, I think those will be released quite soon. If you remember Linea de Oro and Linea 1935, they've been released not long after the festival. It's not like,
It took a year.
yeah, but not like 5 years and still not being
No,
released or anything like
Like
that.
Romeo Julieta announced at the festival, and then like later in the year they started coming through. And although they weren't available, they were like coming through, and then like yeah, it was like within a year. Within about a year, we had them in the stores had them on the shelves, so it was great. So we might see
I think they will come soon.
they'll come soon.
Yeah, I think by the end of this year we're
No,
gonna
to
have.
start with, I think they'll come soon.
I think they'll come soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they will be probably available this year. I'm very optimistic. Again, price wise, UK probably £100, maybe on
£100
top
each?
on that, maybe on top.
Wow.
I mean, it's a new Partagas, everyone hype. I already seen people in forums and groups start asking where they're
about buying
selling,
them,
where
yeah,
they're
yeah.
buying them. Come on, guys,
And, like,
it's the
and the
festival just
comments-
finished.
I know. I saw like a few people, right? So a few people in one of the groups that I'm in. Actually, no, a few people in my group, right? They were commenting like, "Oh, does anyone have the Linea Maestro? Does anyone have like blah blah blah?" And then like, people replied back like, "Mate, they just announced it." So the demand is there, the hype is there. I think that guy was asking not as in like, "Oh, can I buy it from the store?" I think he was asking like, "Does anyone have like one of those 3 boxes available or something like that?" Do you know what I mean? Like, did someone
Well,
bring
I
it
don't
back?
think anyone have a full box.
No, but the 3 boxes.
There will be the
one.
festival ones, yeah, but those are not objective price. They're always selling for way more than what they actually are. You know, you've seen, even we talked earlier about the last year boxes on the auction. There's an auction at the moment which finished with the last year Cohiba boxes.
Yeah.
There was a Cohiba Amber and Cohiba Ideales.
Yeah.
There was 1,500. There was 3 or 4 boxes on the auction for 1,500 each. So that's 2 cigars.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think when they release those cigars, combined price will be close
They're
to
not gonna
that.
be that. No.
So Cohiba Ambar is supposed to be standard production.
Yeah.
What will be 150, 200 pounds? Ideales, 500 pounds.
Limited edition.
I mean, we're talking for 700-800 pounds in total,
Yeah.
and those are double the price just because they're from the
1,500,
festival.
right?
Yeah,
That's from the auction though.
yeah, that's because it's an auction and it's been from the festival last year.
Course,
So
yeah.
those 3 cigars in the coffins or whatever they came in the packs, the price won't be objective. But realistically, I think they will be between 80 and 100, 120. The
I
3,
think so. Yeah. In
the 3 cigars in UK. Again, depends on the country where you are.
Germany's probably going to be a little bit less expensive.
Those will be the same price almost everywhere.
You think?
The classes of Cohiba and Trinidad,
The
because
the Linea series are always.
yes,
about
Linea is everywhere the same price. So they
No, in Germany, the Linea series is actually quite a bit cheap. They're about
Is it?
20%. About 20%. I mean, it's not a huge amount, but still about 20%.
it's not like a standard lines like Romeo, Short Churchill, and Partagas
No, like-
default difference.
Yeah, like the Monte Cristo number 2 is like half price still in Europe.
Okay, but not the Lineas.
But not the Linea. The Linea is like 20% cheaper, but then
Okay.
you can't even get hold of them there. Like over there, the supply is like a lot worse than it is in the
I've
UK.
not been in. Well, last time in travel when looking for cigars was a long time ago, especially in Europe. I mean, I just came back from South America. On the Mexican airport, there was nothing interesting apart of Cohiba and Trinidad. There was a Cohiba and Trinidad, but prices was almost the same as here.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah, Cohiba Trinidad, they're like
So,
they're like standard across
The rest
board.
of the stuff, there was a plenty of Romeo 1, 2, 3, Monte 2, 3, 4, 5, but nothing limited edition, nothing LCDH, nothing crazy, nothing rare. I mean, it's not much stuff there. And Mexico airport was big. I mean, it was a huge airport.
Yeah, and they still didn't have that much in.
No, they'll have like 10 different humidors in different
Wow.
shops.
We're kind of lucky here in the UK in the sense that we've got like lots of stock available for cigars. So despite the fact that the price is so high, we still have access to a lot of different kinds of cigars. Like if you got the money, you can buy virtually almost anything in the UK in terms of cigars, and most stores have something special to them anyway. So which is kind of nice, but it's just pricey as hell, and it's like, is it worth it?
Reckon if you have the money, you're gonna have the connections. You can buy them from everywhere.
That's
I
true.
mean,
That's true.
if you're that much buying
but
that much Cubans, you can contact someone in, I don't know, in Dubai. You can contact someone in Lebanon, in Germany. You know the shop owners, and most likely you can buy stuff from them. I mean,
Yeah.
buy, not get for free. Obviously.
But that's the thing, though. In the other countries, you need connections. Over here, you can just walk into a store.
Yeah, but still, no, every shop have everything.
No, but most stores have a lot. Our
Yeah,
selection here-
online selection is good. I mean,
Online
you can
selection
buy
is
online
nice.
anything you want in UK.
Exactly.
If you want Behike, you can find them online.
They're
If you want Talisman, you can buy them online. If
But
you
they
want
just price like
anything,
nuts.
well, you need to be ready to pay the price. That's a luxurious product.
Unless you go to the auctions. You know, we were talking about the auctions, right? So the auctions have just happened, right? One of the biggest auctions in the UK for rare and vintage Cuban cigars. And we were just going through them, and you were actually, you know, running down some of the Cuban cigars and what the prices were in terms of what they've gone for. And most of them, many of them, even Cohiba, they're like half the price of retail.
Half, no, Cohiba not half, but they're under retail.
Mm.
I mean, some of the surprises, Behike 56 was less than £3,000, one of the boxes.
Yeah. Which is like,
That's 56,
yeah, that's 40% cheaper.
yes.
That's almost half.
So, I mean, you can keep asking to the shops for Behike 56 and 54s and 52, but some of those auctions, actually, you can buy a lot of good stuff on those auctions.
Yes, you can.
I mean, we discussed it. There's a Monte Cristos, there's a Cohibas, Lanceros, Trinidad Fundadores, anything you can imagine.
Fundadores, how much did the Fundadores go for? Was like 1,200? It was like 66 quid
Something
each.
like that.
It was £66 per cigar. That's how much it worked out to.
Epicure number 2 was a £600 for a cabinet of 25.
£600 of a cabinet.
2004.
2004. Nuts.
So,
And
I
the
mean,
Fundadores were aged as well.
Yeah.
It's not like they were.
but yeah, auctions are another thing we
But
can.
this is the thing, though. Do you think that because of that, does that show that the market hasn't really accepted the price increase from Habanos? Because Habanos has increased the price, but the auctions aren't. They're not going with the price increase. That says a lot.
I don't know, maybe not a lot of people plan auctions, and the people who already buy stuff from auctions, they don't smoke. They have them all already. I mean, it's a hard to comment that one. It's a weird one. Usually it's the other way around. Vintage stuff and auction stuff, they're more expensive than retail.
Way more. Way
But
more.
when you double the price on the retail,
Yes.
you don't expect double the price on the auction straight away. It's not
but
going to happen.
It's been a while now. This has been like two.
Because there's the
auctions.
people who pay good money on auctions, they probably smoke mostly vintage cigars.
Yeah.
They don't touch the new stuff.
No.
They don't care about the new prices.
No.
They don't care about the new Cohiba Robusto or Trinidad Coloniales.
Yeah.
They just want age stuff.
Yeah.
And they're ready to pay more or less, or doesn't matter what's the price, but they want the age stuff.
But the aged stuff is less expensive than the current production.
Well,
And
because
it's
there's not many people bidding on that.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. When you have aged and rare vintage stuff, which is going for 40% less than retail, that's a disconnect then. Then clearly the market is saying this is what we're willing to pay for it, but Habanos is saying this is what we want to price it at.
Well,
So there's obviously a disconnect there.
I told you, if I was a shop owner, I'm gonna go and buy them from those auctions and I'm gonna sell them. Because that's a legit auction, it's approved, it's a condition, everything. I'm just gonna buy stuff from there, sell them as a vintage cigars.
You can sell them for quite a bit
Yes,
as well.
so I don't know. It's not. I mean, shop owners need to think about it. It's not. I'm not a guy who owns the shop, so I don't have the budget to buy that kind of boxes.
But ignoring the shops, right? Ignoring the shops completely. Because shop owners have access to that anyway. Depending on what the rules are. I don't know what the rules are, but right? But they might have access to it. But that aside, you've got... this is a disconnect. And I think that Habanos has kind of overstepped it, where they've put the price up so high that the market's just saying, actually, no, we're not going to pay that. and you're getting vintage and rare cigars, which were normally, they were normally double the price of retail, right? Esplendidos, aged from like 10 years ago or something, you would not be able to buy that at the same price of retail. You'd be paying double the amount.
Yeah, but don't forget those cigars which now are on vintage auctions, they're older. Back in the time, they were way cheaper. So you still make a lot of money on them.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't matter which one. Let's say Fundadores.
Yeah.
Those are, or the AP2, because I remember the date, that was 2004. Those AP2 2004 were probably £6 a piece.
Yeah.
So you're making now £20 on that or whatever, 15, £20 on a cigar. So you still make your money.
You're making money on the original price of what it was.
Yes.
But you're still looking at the current price of standard production. And how is standard production so much more expensive than vintage and whatever? Like, if you increase the price, then it makes sense that, oh, the vintage is going to inflate in price as well.
As there's no guarantee in the auction prices.
No,
that's the
no
thing.
guarantee,
because you see some of the Dunhills, they're £1,000 a piece.
They were nuts.
So Dunhill and Davidoff, they've been producing the same time in the same factories.
Yeah.
Dunhill's £1,000 a piece, Davidoff's £150 a piece.
Yeah.
Both of them Cuban, both from the 70s, 80s,
Yeah.
late 80s. Why the Dunhills are more expensive than the Davidoffs? I mean, you see.
Because we're never going to get Davidoff Cubans again.
You're never going to get Cuban, you're never going to get Dunhills as well.
No, we're never going to get Dunhills. But those will continuously keep going up and up and up and up.
No, I think the Davidoff slightly lower down now at the moment.
Dunhills are quite a bit more.
Davidoff used to be around, depends on the size again, around
700 a piece?
No, close to 200. Depends on the size. We're not talking about Dom Perignon and
I see.
the 80th. We're talking for number 1, 2000 series, so the Chateau series, usually up to 150, 200 on a piece on auction.
That's how much it was, yeah.
Dunhill, I don't remember Dunhill in the last 7-8 years being under 700-800 a piece.
Same. That's what I thought.
So, I mean, Dunhill always been there. Always been slightly more expensive. Davidoff, not that much. But again, with the other stuff, some of the limited editions are quite expensive. The others are just way below retail. Maybe that was the current situation. You know, it would depend who's been on the auction. Maybe the people who bid in, they spend on the festival, they don't have that money to start buying on the auction. Auction is never guaranteed. There's no such thing as a guaranteed price.
There's nothing guaranteed, but what's happened is, even in the last auction, same thing happened, and I commented on this up as well. I said, the last auction happened, Cohiba prices, basically across the board, for all the Cuban brands, they were all significantly less expensive than retail. Retail was like, you know, what's a Robusto now? £80 or something crazy?
£95.
95, damn. Okay, £95 each for a Robusto. But in the auctions, aged and vintage ones were going like half the price. Same thing has happened in this auction as well. And last auction, there wasn't a festival, anything like that.
Maybe there's another thing we need to mention here. Right. On the auction, most of those cigars are not EMS. A lot of people pay extra pound for the EMS stamps.
Do you think that makes a big difference though?
Yes, in terms for of collectors, yes. Because I've seen how people, especially in abroad, they don't want to pay even half of the price what the UK prices just because they don't have the EMS stamp. So like a lot of collectors looking for the EMS stamp. Yeah. Just because that guarantees something for them. Even if it doesn't mean that much for me. For some people, they're looking for, and you see on the auction, you can see the actual box and you can see the stamp from Israel, from Germany, from wherever you buy the box, but not EMS. The EMS boxes actually go for a little bit more expensive.
That's true.
So maybe that's another point. People just know those are from other market. They don't want to pay extra cash on that one. They prefer to buy more for the EMS.
So do you think that's causing a major...
Not major, but there's a percentage difference in that.
That makes sense. That would actually make sense because in the...
because example, you mentioned the new prices. Yeah. In Germany are like half of the price here. But Germany don't have the EMS.
That's true. So they're paying... So they're looking at it from the perspective of how much is it in Germany? How much is it in the auction? Okay, it's a little bit more than that, but this is a vintage cigar, so it's worth paying that extra amount for it. That's a fair point. I
mean, it's all speculation. Yeah. We're just speculating at the moment, but
of course,
thinking logically, I mean, for me, it doesn't.
That's a very good point, though.
Logically, very good point. A Robusto in the shop is £95, and when you go to the auction, it's like £60 a piece. So that's 30-40% cheaper. I'm never going to buy them on the shop. I'm going to buy them on auction.
Yeah.
But maybe the people who invest in that kind of cigars, they're looking for the EMS stamp. We discussed that in another channel back in the time, if you remember, the EMS and how important for a lot of people it is the EMS meaning, actually.
I mean, we talked about how EMS, in realistic terms, doesn't make that much of a difference, but it does to collectors.
Yes.
It does to collectors. Because when you look at the Chinese market, for example, Chinese market, the Middle Eastern market, they are very, very much invested in the EMS stamp. Not because it's like, not because the cigars are suddenly better or anything like that, because it's the same cigars. It's just the fact that it's that extra safeguard in place where they know for a fact that
It's a
legit.
branding. It's a branding.
But it's also
Why
confirmed
Cohiba
that it's
more
legit.
expensive than Trinidad, than Romeo or Monte Cristo? Is it a better? It's perspective.
Well, you
It's a branding.
You prefer Romeos over Cohibas anyway, right?
It doesn't matter. Let's say Trinidad's, whatever. Why the Trinidad and Cohiba more expensive? Cuba decided to put that brands on over there. That's why they're more expensive. Are they the best cigars? I doubt. There's plenty of people smoking only Bolivars, only Partagas.
Yeah.
You know all of them. I know all of them. They don't touch Cohibas anyway.
No.
How you can tell that person the Cohiba is better than Bolivar? No, it's a branding. It's a name. That's why the EMS, in some way, it's a branding. It's a name which you put on the cigars. Quality-wise,
Do you think that it gives people the perception of like, oh yeah, there's an extra safeguard. I know for a fact these are definitely legit.
well,
not
yes,
really fake.
yes and no. I mean, without knowing the source, it's not easy. Even EMS stamp, I can buy a box from EMS from eBay, empty box of EMS from eBay.
And then just
I
put
mean,
whatever in
and
there.
just put whatever you want inside.
I guess with the auctions and the safeguards that they have in place.
Those auctions, that's the good thing, especially with the specialized auction like the one we're talking about. They guarantee where the cigars came from.
Yes.
They have the papers, they have the documents, they know how the cigars been stored, they check them, they inspect them, and they can guarantee.
Yeah.
So that's why not all the auctions like that. There's a lot of auctions which are not specialized, which you don't know what you're buying. One of the recent lots I've seen a sealed box of Lancero,
Yeah.
Cohiba Lancero, with the box stamp on the bottom 21,
Yeah.
but no green tax or anything like that. And they say, oh, this is a gift from the president of Habanos, president of Cohiba, or something like that. And I was thinking, it's not such a thing.
That sounds like bullshit to me.
Yeah, and the box is closed with the cellophane on top.
So you don't know what is in there.
Again, this is not a specialized auction. That was just a random auction I saw on the internet last few days when I come back from my trip, and I was like, yeah, that's another bullshit there. Friend of mine get him from the president of Cohiba.
Did
the
someone
president
buy
of
it?
Cohiba. It's current auction. It's not finished yet. It's finished in a few days.
Oh, I want to see that though. I want to see.
I'll show it to you later.
I want to see if that if that finishes that at a high price or something, because I want to know who buys it.
You're not gonna find out who buy them because it will be someone
it's
who don't
private.
know.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
private. Yeah, that's going to be private.
Let's go back on the festival.
Yes, let's talk about the festival. So, with the festival, we had some auctions there as well. What do you think of the auctions there? Did you pay attention to any of them?
Yes, and for me, there's no surprise. That will happen in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 auctions. So, in the auction, basically the biggest bid and play was into the Cohiba humidor, like always.
Yep.
Okay, there's a record price again of over 4 million. And as far as I managed to find information, the person who bought them was advised from the person who bought last year the most expensive lot. So again, Chinese market, Chinese people.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same person from last year, but last year he didn't announce his name. He just used someone to represent him. Jimmy is the guy who last year bought it.
Talk
and
about
stuff.
last year. What happened last year when he bought the box?
Well,
he bought the humidor.
The rumors say he bought it and straight away sell it even when he was in Cuba.
How much did he buy it for? How much did he sell it for?
I think 2.5 million if I'm not wrong, and I think he sold it for over 7 million. But that was, again, this is a not confirmed rumor. That was what was moving into the forums and people who know other people.
It's not
and
confirmed, but
everything.
there were a lot of people who know what they're talking about said something similar. A lot of people corroborated that story. So it wasn't like one person said it and then it was corroborated by a lot of people who said, yeah, actually, that did happen.
I mean, those auctions, especially the Habanos auction, okay, they raise a lot of money for the kids or whoever. I don't know if the money actually went there, but that's another topic.
That's enough, yeah.
But none of those humidors, I don't believe any of those humidors will actually bring it to the room and split it with people to smoke it and stuff like that.
No, they're going to stay in.
They will stay like that forever until they burn, they get flooded or someone stole it,
Yeah.
or someone die, passed away to another generation. He's not a smoker, he decided to sell it, and then we'll see it on another auction. Those humidors were not going to be smoked. They're not going to touch the cigars. They're just collectible piece, like if you have Picasso or you have Da Vinci, if you have Mona Lisa, those kind of stuff. They will sit in some
Is
humidor.
anyone smoking them ever?
I've never seen one of those humidors. I've seen few live in the shops. I've never seen anyone touching those cigars. Even if you touch it, probably you replace it. But who knows? Those are always piece of furniture.
It is, isn't
Sitting
it?
in nice lounge, in nice collection, and you're just showing off to your
look at
friend.
my fancy
Yes,
humidor kind
yes.
of thing.
So it's again, this is an ego. It's like with the cars, with the houses, with every expensive
Yeah, but
stuff.
you like collecting stuff as well, so you should probably appreciate this level of
But I
collection.
smoke everything.
True.
I don't have a single cigar which I wouldn't smoke in my collection, and I didn't touch. Even I have boxes where I'm from curiosity buy a box, maybe I smoke one. I don't like them, I'll keep them, maybe smoke another one in a year or so. But I don't have a boxes which are
fair,
fully sealed and not touching. It doesn't matter how expensive they are.
I will say one thing, to be fair, whatever you collect, you use. So you collect cufflinks, for example, but you use cufflinks.
Every day.
You collect hats, ties.
I
and stuff
see
like
pointless to collect stuff
and not
use them.
Yeah.
For me, it's a pointless. Every stuff I collect, I mean, even cutters, lighters, cigars, cases, I use them. You know me. You know me very well. Every day I have different cutter, different lighter. Not every day, let's say every week or something.
Most days you have something different.
But it's a cigars. I mean, every box I have, it's open. It's already probably one of them being smoked.
Yeah.
Maybe more, given to friends, sharing, talking about lives. And there's no cigar which I wouldn't smoke.
So if you got one of these humidors,
if I have one of those humidors, I'll probably smoke at least one cigar straight away. I know I'm gonna lose the value, but I'm not collecting to selling.
Yeah.
All those people collecting because they know in some point if they need money, they easily can sell this one, making 50% profit, 100% profit.
Comfortably.
It's a different type of collecting.
What was the least expensive one? I think was it the Upman which was the least expensive one? No, Hoyo.
I don't remember on that one. I didn't pay attention that much on that one because again, it's for me, it's just a showing off. Let's showing off what we have.
Do you think that they put the money towards the actual country? What do you think?
That's what they say. You are well more connected than me in Cuba. You should ask. I have no one to ask there. I don't know anyone there.
I should ask.
You can ask.
No, it'd be cheeky if I ask. If I asked, then they'd be like, what are you trying to say?
Exactly. No one will tell you anything. It's a communist country.
Yeah.
They claim those money go to the kids, whatever help. Are they actually going there?
I hope it does.
Who knows? I hope it's a good cause. But
it's a lot of money. It's a lot of extravagance for something which, let's face it, each cigar is what, $1 each?
$2, $3, $5 each. Again, it's you pay for the piece of furniture.
Yeah, you're paying for the humidor.
Not like you get in the empty, but the Cohiba was 60. I think 60 cigars was in the Cohiba.
It wasn't that many cigars.
66 or something like that.
We were talking millions of pounds for not many cigars in the grand scheme of things. So, if essentially what you said is correct, you're not really buying the cigars. You're buying the furniture, which contains a few cigars. That's essentially what you're getting.
It's not even. What is the thing is there is not even exclusive cigars with this.
No, exactly. It's like you're not even getting like special cigars specifically made for this humidor.
Yes,
like,
that's a fun thing. So Habanos stopped doing stuff like that ages ago. So if you remember, there was exclusive Cohibas for some of the humidors. 35th. Well, it's a slightly different, but different band. Cohiba 35, Cohiba 30. Band. You have the
festival cigars,
Partagas 150th, 160th, 170th. They're different bands.
Yeah.
But in those humidors, there's
nothing.
There's like 20 Robustos, 20 Sigil 4, but just throw whatever, a whole bunch of the last 5 releases of Cohibas and throw them there.
Yeah.
It's not special.
No. So how is it going for that much money? That's just crazy.
Ego.
It was just the fact that it's available and someone's going to buy it. Because either you, like you said, you can either buy it and keep it forever and not do anything with it, or you can buy it and then eventually you're going to be able to sell it for something quite a bit more. Because you can't replicate the humidor.
No, it's a one-off piece.
It's a one-off piece.
I mean, even if you replicate it, it's not going to be the real one.
No.
I mean, there's a one piece.
It's very difficult to replicate that.
It's a one piece. It's well made as far as the ones I've seen and the pictures on the others. It's a well made. I wouldn't say it's a cheap furniture.
No.
It's an expensive. Obviously, every humidor is different. There's no two other same pieces or anything. But still, price go there just because the people buying it. I should probably look and see how much was the starting price on that, but it wouldn't be probably more than 100,000. And then you got people start bidding, especially if there are 2 or 3 people, one each another.
Yeah.
And you end at like 4 million at the end.
4 million. Is that the highest auction so far then?
I think single piece is last year was 2 million.
This year it's
4 million.
That's nuts. I mean, that's a lot of money. for a few standard production cigars and some furniture. Don't get me wrong, I'm not even mad about it. Like I'm actually quite happy about the fact that this happened and Habanos were able to be that successful with their humidor. So and congratulations to whoever won. Like I'm not looking at this thinking, oh, that's just stupid, don't buy it, and this and that. I'm actually not. I'm actually looking at it thinking, holy crap, that's a lot of money. Well done to you.
I mean, even if you say it's stupid, don't buy it. If it's not this guy, it would be the other guy.
Exactly.
There are probably a lot of people bidding on that.
Yeah.
So if it's not 4 million, it would be 3.7 million or 3.8 million.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So it's someone else will buy it. So I don't want to say, we don't want to say like all those 20 people bidding on that, they're stupid.
No, of course
they
not.
have their reasons again.
Exactly.
If I have 5 billion in my bank account, to be honest, I'll probably not gonna even. I'll start with 10 million starting price. Honestly,
just outbid everyone from like the beginning,
and I'm gonna after that smoke them.
just in front of them. As well.
Honestly, if I have money, I'm go there. I'll buy all the lots,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna literally start smoking them.
Right in front of them.
Yeah,
Just like, here's the money.
yeah.
Have that. Right. Let me go put it. Okay, that one first, please. Don't bring me in here. I'll drop one of them at least.
So it's everyone who's with his different stuff, a different opinion.
I agree. I think again, the fact that I mean, we're commenting about the price and saying, oh, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but we're not saying stuff like, oh, this was stupid. You shouldn't have done it. No, feel free.
It's his money.
Exactly,
He can do whatever he wants with his money.
Exactly. And actually, I'm quite pleased about the fact that it did go up to that amount of money because it just shows the enthusiasm within the industry. I think it's a good thing overall. There's always going to be like super expensive cigars within the industry, which most of us are not going to have access to, which is fine. You know, that's fine. I'm quite comfortable with that. You guys enjoy that. I'm going to carry on enjoying my picadores. You know, I'm happy here. I'm happy right here. It's like, I love this cigar. This is actually really fucking good. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. What's your cigar like?
It's nice. That was very spicy.
Spicy?
I mean, super spicy at the beginning.
Really?
Now it's mellowed down. It's more creamier, but still have a lot of flavors. I mean, that probably bring me to a point. I think is not actually super old. Like I was thinking, maybe from the 80s. It's probably more recent one. There's plenty of flavors. That doesn't keep a lot of ash, to be honest. Even the first ash drop on me, but the burn is nice. It's typical Cuban burn.
Yeah, but remember when we smoked the Aniados? They were duds.
Yeah, no. They
were horrible.
That's a good Churchill. I mean,
compared to that,
I like Churchill. I know Romeo. I like Romeo very well.
So I know you like Churchills, right? That's why I thought, okay, Romeo Julieta, Ray enjoys Romeo Julieta. These are Churchills, they're vintage, Ray likes vintage cigars. What could go wrong? We all smoked them. All of us smoked through them, fine, but then all of us looked at each other and thought, it was okay. There's nothing to it. So
Yeah,
compared to that, what's this like?
No, this is better. Even on this one, you can start picking flavors and everything. And,
Really?
And the draw is just perfect for me.
Is it?
I mean, it's not loose. It's just about to get tight. You know, I like a little bit tighter cigars. I don't need to squeeze it. Usually when I'm tight, I start squeezing it and stuff. It's just about to get there. So it's perfectly for me to get the flow, to get the flavors, to get everything. No build up on taro or anything like that, as you can see.
That's a good cigar then.
It was a slightly crap around the cup, which still not influence anything on the cigar. So it smoked absolutely fine. And yeah, so I'm enjoying it.
Why do you think the Aniados that we smoked were so shit? Because they were well made. The construction was good. The wrapper leaf looked gorgeous on it.
Well, I don't remember that much. Why was the problem there? We smoked it 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So
2019, I think we smoked it.
We smoked it 3-4 years ago. I think mine was very loose on the draw, if I remember right.
Should have.
It was
Why didn't you tell me? I would have given you another one.
No, you know me. I know you don't. I'm not picky on the cigars. I smoke whatever it's my luck or whatever. For me, every cigar should be smoked perfectly. I keep telling you, if you buy a box of 20 cigars, you need to smoke 20 cigars.
I disagree.
So why? What? If you buy a box of 20, you expect 5 to throw away?
No, I agree with you on that one. It's mixed feelings. I'll tell you what I'm saying. So, you are right. When you buy a box of 25 cigars, every single one of them should be.
Yes.
However, that's not the case.
Well, if that happened with the brand, I'm not going to smoke that brand anymore.
But that's similar across the board with so many.
That's why I stopped smoking some cigars.
But this isn't even like a Cuban thing. It's like
Yeah, I'm not talking about Cubans. I'm talking for the cigars. Let's say if I buy, now very rarely I buy a full box, but if I buy 5-pack, usually when I'm trying new cigars, I try to buy at least 2, 3, maybe 5, maybe 10, depends on the price I found.
Yeah.
And if I buy 5, I very often will smoke, if it's not expensive cigar, I'll smoke one soon as I get them.
Yeah.
And smoke another one in a few months. And if they're fine, okay. But if I buy a 5-pack and I have like 2 dud ones, come on. That's 40%.
I know what you mean. But
I don't pay for that. I want to pay, every time I pay 20, 30, 50 pounds, whatever I pay for the cigar, you expect to get your money. And okay, I know you want to pick your cigars from the shops. Okay, it's fine, it's your point. But you not always get your cigars from the shops. So let's say you're on Habanos Festival. Did you pick them from the shops?
No, let me just say.
You have them on your table.
No, you're right.
Whatever your luck
absolutely
is.
right.
And if you think for that, this cigar is dead because it was loose draw. But that was what not supposed to be happening.
No, it shouldn't. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm not saying that you're wrong in what you're saying, because you are absolutely correct. When you buy a box of cigars, every single one of them should be great, because you paid for each individual cigar. You didn't it's not like you got these for free, so these are allowed to be done. So no, what I'm saying is the reality isn't that. That's not the reality of most cigars. The problem that you're going to come across is when you buy a box of cigars, if you're going into a store, sometimes you do have to pick your cigar, because chances are you're not going to get a perfect one every single time.
But every time you touch the cigar with your bare hands, you change the flavors on the cigars.
I
learned that one. I learned that one last week.
Really? Tell me.
Yes, because the cigar, the leaf breathe. Even if you don't have cream or anything on your hands, your pH changes the flavors in the cigar. Every time you touch the cigar with bare hands. I didn't know. That's one of the stuff I was very curious. We discussed it with every producer there. I visit 5 factories, and everyone say yes. That's the main reason people put the cellophane on the cigars. It's not the protection only. It is the people who touching them, even if it's your own cigars. You go to your humidor, you start touching your boxes, you change flavors in the cigars. Not major, but change it.
But it's negligible.
It's negligible, but sometimes you can have some flavor on your hand, which you don't feel, you don't taste it, you don't feel it, because you're already used to that flavor.
Yeah.
When you touch the cigar, that go to the cigar, that breathe. Every disease you have in your hand, that go to the cigars. Every single virus, bacteria, go into the cigars.
But to be fair, a cigar has been handled by how many people?
Yes.
So it's so negligible at that stage.
But
how many hands? What, 300 hands?
More.
Yeah.
But after everyone touching the cigars and they're in a box, the cigars go to the fridge, where kill everything. After the fridge, cigars are touched for more.
Freezing
2 or 3 people.
Freezing doesn't kill everything. Freezing kills the beetle, but it doesn't kill bacteria.
Oh, kill most of them.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It makes them dormant.
Kill most of the stuff.
It makes them dormant.
And also reduce the negative flavors in some way.
Do you think?
Yes.
I don't know.
So after the freezer, they've been touching with what? 2, 3 people? Quality control, maybe shipping company. They don't touch the cigars. Very rarely they open and touch them.
Hunters do.
Okay.
Hunters touch their head.
I want to see when you take out every cigar from the box and you put them in the same way in the box. I just want to see that. I'll give you just name any cabinet. I want to see how you take all the cigars, individually check the cigars, and put them in the same order. I just want to see it.
That's what the statement is, though.
It's not true.
That's what they say.
One thing is to open the box and close it. Other thing is to check every single cigar. That's
this is what they
impossible.
say. They say they check every cigar.
Man, there's a glue band to each other. Monte Cristo have a recent problem with the bands are glued to each other.
Yeah.
What did Hunters glue them?
I'm just going with the official story. The official story is they go through and check every single cigar. So you think that's complete bullshit?
I'm open. I'm challenging everything from whoever say they check every cigar. I want to challenge the guy. I'll give him a box of 25, cabinet of 25, and I wanted to take them out and put them in the same order for quick enough to be reasonable.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah.
I mean, that will take ages. But I tried to put together a cabinet of Siglo 6.
Yeah.
It take me 2 hours to make it in the same 25 cabinet look like.
What? How did it take you 2 hours?
Because you need to put the bundle. And those cigars, when you remove them from the bundle, if the cigar is not on the same place, you damage it. You remember when you take off the bundle of 25, the side cigars are squeezed, even some of them are like that.
Yes.
And if that cigar is not on this place,
it's gonna, it's gonna cause damage.
and when they put the bundle together, the cigars are actually on the table, they tie them like that.
Yes, they do.
So even if I untie them, not every cigar will stay. They literally imagine 25 cigars split like that. And if you put them the same way, you need to remember every cigar where it's been. You need to tie them in the same exact way. Trust me, it didn't happen for 2 minutes. I've tried with Siglo 6, honest to God. It takes me almost 2 hours. I literally put them together. No, it doesn't look nice. You know, the one of the cigars is not nice. They're not like you open the box.
Okay, so you didn't take it 2 hours. You just kept coming back to it to try and like fix it.
Yeah. No, I can tie them together for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But they're not the same. You can't fit them in a box. That's a sliding lid box. If you're not perfectly down,
then it's going to cause damage to the cigar. Yeah.
I mean, it's no cellophane there. If it's cellophane, okay, you push a little bit, squeeze it there. There's no cellophane there. And you don't want to bend another 2 cigars because, you know, the end 2 cigars, they're bended. Every bundle cabinet from Cuba, the 2 or 3 cigars of the sides, they're bended because the bundle is not tight. And those, if you don't put those on the same way, you bend another 3 cigars.
So you call bullshit on that completely. Like when they do inspections, they check the box, they open it up, they'll do a visual inspection.
That's what I'm doing as well. When I receive a cigar, I check top row maybe, take the cabinet out, look at it and stuff like that. But I don't take every single cigar
out.
And I mean, I want to see if someone doing it, maybe I'll learn something. Literally, I don't want to, you say it's bullshit. I don't want to call it total bullshit.
Okay.
It's possible, but time consuming.
Yes.
Come on, if you check like 500 boxes a day.
Fucking hell. It's a lot.
It's not easy. I mean,
not reasonable.
I want to see it. If someone can prove me wrong, send me a video. Send me how you tie them all together, and you manage. In 2 minutes.
Even if you do 2 minutes per box, right? 2 minutes per box, 500 boxes. How much time is that? That's a lot. That's a full day.
Exactly. You need to hire someone just to open and close the boxes.
Do you know what I mean? So
and some of the 25 counts, the standard Monte Cristo boxes, for example. Recently there's an issue with the bands. They glue each to other. They 2 cigars next to each other. The band is glue.
You showed me that. Yeah.
So okay, if they came from Cuba like that, when you open the cigar, when you inspect the cigar like that, you open it, you put it together, you can see it's not glued together, and there's no glue on the cigar. That's the funny thing. The glue is not on the cigar. It's on the bands.
Yeah.
So I want to see how that quality control is being checked. I mean, not only hunters, every distributor.
Yeah.
I don't want to rave only on hunters or anything. No, I want to see every company which say, well, not a lot of distributors actually open the boxes and check them. Yeah. Hunters are one of them. They say every single box is open and check. Okay, send me a video. Show me how you're doing it. I'm very curious. Honestly, I want to see it because it sounds impossible for me. Honestly,
Well, going back to the point, you said that as you touch the cigar, that's going to cause the flavors of the cigar to change.
Potentially, yes.
I think that's negligible still. I think the impact of it.
Yeah, but you don't. When you buy a cigar from the shop, you expect to be no one who eat garlic 10 minutes ago to touch your cigar. You know what I mean? Because you're not gonna start doing.
No.
Okay, so how you're gonna find out if someone eat garlic before you and touching the cigar?
No, I think no. Bringing it to your face is too far.
Okay, but touching the cigar is too far for me. If there's no cellophane.
I think that we're going to disagree on this, which is fine. But no. I'm not even saying that in like oh, let's just agree to disagree. I mean, like, it's a reasonable disagreement, and I think that you're correct in your perspective. But I also think that I don't think it's that much of an issue. I think that bringing it to your nose.
No. Forget about the nose.
Okay, bringing it to your nose too far. Touching them, I think it's part of the charm. Every single store that I've been to, every single store abroad and everything, right? Like, being able to just touch the cigars and buy the cigar, touch the cigars that you want to buy and whatever, this and that, it's part of it. And in a lot of stores, it's kind of like I wouldn't say that it's recommended. It's more of like enjoy. It's part of it. I think it's just part of that buying experience. It's nice to be able to like, oh yeah, I want this one.
Sorry, but that don't happen in my shop. In my shop, you're not touching the cigars. If you have a problem with the cigars, I'll replace it. It's 100%.
No, I
you smoke whatever I give you. Mm-hmm. If you're not happy, again, I will replace it. But no, you don't start touching every cigar in the humidor.
So if I buy a cigar from your store and it's got a really loose straw, Are you going to replace that?
No.
There you go.
Loose draw for you might be not loose draw for everyone. If it's plugged, I'll replace it. If it's damaged, I'll replace it.
But this is what I mean. I think that.
But if it's loose draw, for me, half of the cigars, most of the Cuban cigars are loose draw because I like tight draw. So what I need to go? I need to go and, I smoke half of it. Can you replace it because it's too loose?
I think the loose draw is a bigger problem than the tight draw. I think that's a bigger issue. I think that as an industry, we let that stuff slide. But a loose draw is worse than tight draw.
You shouldn't have a loose draw.
But we do get loose draws a lot.
Well, complain to hunters.
You can't test the loose draws, can you?
You can taste by weight.
That's true.
That's how Padron verify the cigars. They weigh them. Yes.
Is that how Padron do it?
Yes.
So they don't have the draw master.
So we're gonna talk. Next week probably.
We'll leave that.
But yes, just a quick one. Padron don't use draw master as well. And I never seen a problem with the Padron as a plugged cigar. They
Not
weigh
plug
them.
cigar.
They weigh them.
Not a plug cigar, but I've had. No, that's actually. Let me say that. I've only had one cigar which had a loose draw from Padron, and I've smoked a lot of Padrons. And I have to say, Padron does a great job when it comes to like their construction.
So if you weigh the cigars, if they're in a certain
within a certain bracket, they should be fine. Padron is one of the few companies that I've had absolutely minimal problems. In fact, it's the only company that I've had fewer problems.
We're gonna discuss that next week. I promise I'm gonna tell you a lot of stuff what I saw in the factories. We're gonna talk about. I visit 5 factories. Every of them have a lot of stories, a lot of positives, few negatives in every one of them. We're gonna discuss all of them. So, but yeah, just an example.
No holds barred.
I'm planning.
Wait. When we talk about this next week, are you gonna tell everything, even the negatives?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. But let's go back to the subject at hand, which is Habanos Festival. I mean, we've talked about everything except for the Habanos Festival. There is another new cigar.
There's a lot of new cigars.
Yeah, but the only new cigars that I'm really interested in were the Partagas Linea Maestro and the new gold medal.
You know, interesting in La Gloria Cubana and a few other stuff?
Not really.
Why not?
Well, you tell me. Why do you find them interesting?
Well, there's a new sizes, and especially La Gloria Cubana is a brand which have like one current production.
Oh yeah, they made a new current standard production cigar, haven't they? Yeah.
Also, Vigueros bring a new line, which I discovered Vigueros quite late.
Yeah.
But I like them.
I like Vigueros.
So for me, Vigueros is one of the underdogs.
Yeah.
Where they start as a budget brand, blah blah. They completely close the brand. They start new lines, and now Vigueros move his way into the premium Cubans, and it's cheaper, good strength.
They're a bit stronger.
They're full body. They're full strength. They're classed as a Partagas, Bolivar, and Ramon Awonas.
So that's why I've always found them to be quite a bit stronger.
They're full body.
Okay.
But they bring a new size as well. So I mean, Vigueros have like currently 4 sizes now. 5 sizes, more than half of the other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we're excluding the top 5. We're not talking about them.
Yeah.
But the other stuff,
like Rafael Gonzalez.
Yeah, Rafael Gonzalez, Paul Aranega, La Gloria Cubana, San Luis Rey, Diplomaticus. So they invest more in Vigueros actually, instead of some of the other ones.
Which is strange.
Rubina. I can mention most of the other 20-odd bands. Well, Rubina still have 2 lines.
No, but they haven't produced anything new for Rubina.
They have Unicos. I have 22 box of Unicos.
Is Unicos new though? That's not new though, is it?
Yeah. None of those guys have new cigars.
That's what I mean.
But they still producing stuff. But San Luis Rey, it's only one left.
Yes.
What was the other one? La Gloria Cubana.
They only
El Rey.
El del Mundo.
It's only one left there, I think.
I mean,
La Gloria Cubana, I think, is only one left as well.
La Gloria Cubana, there's nothing. I mean,
they have one number 4, gold medal number 4 or something, which is a long panatella.
Yeah, but it's not even being produced anywhere, is it? Like the La Gloria Cubana doesn't have a single, aside from the new release that they've just made, La Gloria Cubana currently doesn't have any standard production cigars, as far as I can remember.
Well, officially they still have one. There's no discontinued brand. They still have one, but it's not. Nobody will see anything there. But
no, the rest of them are LCDHs or something like that.
It's an interesting. I want to try those new cigars. I mean, I'm curious. Maybe they won't be different as the flavors, but just a new sizes, bring something new to the portfolio. We'll see.
La Gloria Cubana, okay, fine. I'm interested in that. But the one I'm really interested in is the gold medal.
Again,
do you give a shit about that at all?
I think losing its charm again. You move in the Vitola, you move into a big ring gauge. You're losing that elegant LCDH
But it's
Bolivar
not that
where
heavy on the ring gauge. What is
it's
it?
46,
Not that bad.
48. I think it's 48 the new one.
I thought it's 46.
46 or 48.
Something like that.
I mean, you raise 2 or 4 ring gauges.
But it's still it's not.
It's
like,
a different cigar.
But it's not. Yeah, it's a different cigar. But it's not crazy like a freaking 57 or 58 ring gauge. You know what I mean? It's not nuts like that.
In 5 years.
In
Give him 5
5 years.
years. Give him 5 years. You
Gold
see-
medal 60 ring gauge.
Oh, not 60, but 54 comfortable.
Yeah.
No, 55. They don't do.
No, they don't.
They do weird sizes.
Yeah,
so
they
55.
They'll do 55. Yeah, but I think it's still a good Vitola. It's a good size in that it's not like a crazy heavy ring gauge cigar. So I'm interested.
Well,
in
compared to the others, it's not because everything else is bigger.
that. Yeah, everything.
What was the slum as well? Monte Cristo slum.
54? No, 52. 52.
Yeah, Vigueros is big ring gauge. The Partagas are big ring gauges. What are they announced?
It's weird that you and I would look at a 52 ring gauge and think, yeah, that's a big ring gauge. But then in the States or in Habanos, they're like, oh no, 58 is a big
Well,
ring
states they don't care about the
No, no,
states because states are not on the map.
gauge. No, but for Cuba, like 58 is a big
Which
ring
is
gauge.
weird. Where all that desire for the big ring gauges came from?
I think it's because of
Because
Obama.
you avoid the US market, which everyone's smoking 60,
No,
70.
I think it's because of Obama.
Yeah, but Obama is not on the map now.
No, but it takes a while, right? It takes a while for things to come
So do you
through.
think next year they're gonna start doing smaller engages?
No, I think they're gonna carry on.
They're gonna
with
carry
this.
on with
They're
that
gonna carry
again.
on
They
with
they
this.
create the
'Cause the
trend.
popularity has increased.
Create the trend. People wants now that, which is everyone you say, oh, Americans smoke only big ring gauge. Look at the Cuban stuff. Everything new produced is big ring gauge. That's mean the rest of the world also starts smoking big ring gauge.
No, honestly, I fucking hate it. I hate these the new cigars which are just massive ring gauge for no reason. Like they're not comfortable. I had the Rio Seco on Sunday, right? Had the Rio Seco on Sunday. Good cigar. I actually enjoy that cigar. It's one of the few cigars from Hoyo which I think is actually quite good. The San Juan is decent as well, but the Rio Seco, very good cigar. But it's just so uncomfortable. It's so 56. It's just nuts. I hate that.
Yeah, I smoke 60 ring gauge when I was in Mexico a few days ago.
Which one do you smoke?
Some Dominican budget cigar, you know, and 60 is no. I'm agree with you. It's too uncomfortable. I can't get used to smoke over 54s, 56s.
Same.
Box press, okay. I'm happy to try bigger
Yeah.
box press.
Box press,
But around 60 is too much.
No.
58 too much. 56
Is
too much. Maybe 54 is the one I'm comfortable.
Yeah,
I just
54.
can't get the enjoyment on that.
54, 55 is like the biggest I want to go with. 56, I'll tolerate it to a certain extent. Like if it's a good cigar, 56, I might do it at a push. But anything above that, I'm not interested. I'm really not interested. And you know what it is, right? You know when I speak to some of the manufacturers, they got all excited about how big the ring gauge is. Like I was speaking to Mirafel, right? You know, with the selection Mirafel and the Maestreza, and they were all, and the way they were talking to me about like the 60 ring gauge cigar was like, oh yeah, and it's got a really heavy ring gauge, it's got a 60 ring gauge.
They're selling it to you because it's
And I was
cheaper
like-
for them to make it.
I really don't give a crap.
It's cheaper for
Give
them to
me
make
the
it.
Petit Corona.
They can play more with the big ring gauges. I see it in my eyes. They can literally, if you, let's say you're producing Churchill, you run out of one of the leaves. You need to replace it with a one leaf. But if you do 60 ring gauge, you can change 3 leaves and nobody will
No one's
understand
gonna
it.
know.
And also wrapper, you buy one wrapper, you put way more in the filler. Wrapper
Yeah.
is expensive. I've seen it, how actually the wrapper is way separate from
Way
everything
more
else. They
expensive,
care more about it. It's more expensive. And if you waste only one wrapper on way more other tobaccos, it's cheaper for you to make it.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Even if you put more tobacco, it's actually cheaper.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I can imagine because we had this discussion with Placencia as well recently. The wrapper leaf is just crazy expensive in comparison to like the filler wrapper, the filler leaves, and the binder. Because the binder, they don't need to give a crap about what it looks like, right? And the wrapper leaf is the dressing.
Well,
underneath.
most of the time, binder is actually damaged wrapper.
There you go.
It's a wrapper which is have stain, spots,
Yeah.
cracks. It's just for binder.
So if it doesn't work as a wrapper, just put it as a binder. It's fine. And that's where the if it doesn't work as a wrapper, put it as a binder. If it doesn't work as a binder, just put it as a filler.
You can use it as a fuel. Yeah, you can use it. Depend again on the primings. There, it's not always,
depends.
but those stuff are usually separated when they dry they ferment and dry the leaves. After they not after that. After that, if you have damage, okay, we might use it for a sell it or because if it's already made as a wrapper, you can't use it as a filler.
No.
you need to use it to separate them at the beginning.
Course.
When different fermentation, different aging, different stuff like that.
Yeah. But you've got that kind of degrading there, right? So the wrapper leaf is like the most expensive one. But, you know, in terms of like just cigar sizes, I hate it when manufacturers get all excited about big ring gauges and they try and sell it to me on the back of the fact that it's a big ring gauge. And I'm like, I really don't give a shit about your 60 ring gauge cigars. Where's the Petit Corona? Where's the fucking Lancero? That's what I want to smoke. You know, Robustos, love them. 54 ring gauge, at a push, yeah, I'll enjoy that. But even Toros supposed to be like 52, 50 ring gauge, right? And then they make it like stupid sizes, and I'm not. Maybe I'm just like a grumpy old git now, and I don't. All these young people are trying to get into it, and they like those big cigars. But me, I'm still happy with my 48 ring gauge Picador. 48? Yeah, it is 48. Yeah, Picadores. Love this cigar, but this was gorgeous. This has been dry box as well, hasn't it?
Well, it's been the humidor. I mean, it's been stored on 63, 64. So but it's out of the...
It's not that heavy on the humidity.
No.
Beautiful. Mate, this is lovely. But yeah, Habanos Festival, man. We haven't talked much about it though.
Well, it's...
We talked about Cuba. We talked about Cuban cigars, which is what we wanted to talk about anyway. I'm excited about the gold medal. I'm excited about the Linea Maestro as well. La Gloria Cubana. Yeah, I'm excited about that to some extent. But...
You didn't mention the new Gran Reserva.
Don't give a crap.
Cohiba.
Don't give a shit. No, I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
2 minutes.
Go on.
Yeah, the new Gran Reserva.
Talk about this fucking pen.
Why, you know, I predict this will be the first cigar which will hit 4 digits retail.
4 digits retail.
Yes.
As soon as it came out, you mentioned that to me. I put up a post as well talking about how Ray thinks this cigar is going to be. And you know what? You've got a point. But talk about it.
I mean, it's a Gran Reserva. It's not a Reserva. It's a Gran Reserva. And those cigars are way more expensive than the others.
Yes.
Even if it's a standard Esplendido, 5 years old, age tobacco, etc., etc.
They tend to be quite expensive.
We'll see, because good Esplendido is a good Esplendido.
Yeah.
I've smoked some exceptional Esplendidos.
Esplendidos is amazing.
And I'm curious what that will bring to the exceptions. Because previous Gran Reservas, some of them have been very exceptional cigars, some of them are just old cigars. They decide to make them Gran Reserva or Reserva, like Cohiba Robusto Reserva, or other examples. So I'm curious on that. This is basically one of the flagships in the Cuban cigars.
Esplendido
has always been. It's the most fakeable cigar.
Yes.
So I'm curious now how many Gran Reservas will came as a fakes as well. Because there will be a lot. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
And price-wise will be expensive. I doubt.
So do you think per stick it's going to be £1,000 each for that cigar? Because that's a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong. Considering the current price of...
In UK, yes.
In UK.
Well, considering Cohiba is worldwide now, same price. Let's say in UK with £1,000, maybe in Europe will be €800. But I think this will be £1,000 once they hit the stores, whatever that happens.
Wow. Boxes of what is it? 20?
15.
15?
It's a Gran Reserva.
So it's like the Sir Winston.
Yeah, it's a Gran Reserva.
Yeah. Because I tried the Sir Winston. That was lovely. That was an incredible cigar.
I don't think I smoke Gran Reservas. I smoke Reservas, but not the Gran Reserva yet.
I've only smoked one. I've only smoked one Gran Reserva, and that was a Sir Winston. Had a box. Couldn't afford to keep them because they're too expensive. So I sold the rest of them, but I sneakily took one out. Obviously, it was 14 box. I sold it as a 14, but that was an amazing smoke. That was a lovely, lovely smoke. And at the time, it wasn't that crazy price as well, compared to what it is now. It was still expensive. It was like $1,500.
I think we discussed that when they announced it. Do you think they try to, in some way, move the attention from that? Actually, there's not much of a Cohiba production. From people's attention, they move away a little bit with that Gran Reserva. So, don't ask about Cohiba. You have the Gran Reservas now. Do you think they slightly move the topic actually? Where is the Cohiba?
Well, the rumors suggest, and strong rumors from... Like if you heard this from these people, you'd be like, that's verified. It's that level of, it's that level of people who definitively know what they're talking about. I spoke to them, and this is like multiple people. It wasn't just like one person. They all said one thing. There are going to be no Cohibas produced for the next year at all. And the reason for this is because they don't have any wrapper leaves. They have 0 wrapper leaves, or they bought like a bunch of wrapper leaves. I'm not going to say where from, but they bought a bunch of wrapper leaves.
I'm going to tell you a fun story next week when we're talking about the... Because I was one of the guys...
We'll talk about next week, yeah.
I was one of the guys who keep asking every warehouse when I was in Nicaragua, where the Cuban tobacco? Where is the Cuban tobacco? I ask a lot of unusual questions, and there was one very good answer on that, but I'll leave it for the next week. From one of the big producers, they give me a brief information what's happened with the Cuban tobacco.
So, strong rumors suggest there will be no Cohiba cigars produced this year. And the reason for that is because they don't have any wrapper leaves. So it makes sense that they produce a Gran Reserva this year, because it does divert some of the attention. Because it's like, well, we produced the Cohiba cigar, technically, but they haven't really. So there's a very good chance that we will not see a single Cohiba cigar box with a date of 23.
Again, I know your sources.
Yeah.
I want to believe in that, but I don't think that will happen. How they're not going to produce Cohiba? It's their flagship cigar.
They don't have any wrapper leaves.
They're going to use some other stuff.
Do you think they're going to use some other stuff?
You cannot produce your flagship cigar. Imagine Fuente not produce Opus X. Padron not produce 50th, 80th or whatever.
No, you'd think that. But
imagine that.
If they haven't got it, then how are they going to make it?
They're going to find a way.
You think they're going to find a way? It's going to be difficult. But Gran Reserva, it's not even a Siglo 6, it's an Esplendidos. One of the best, in my opinion, probably one of the best Cuban cigars ever produced. That one...
One of the most iconic. It's the most fakeable cigar, the most recognizable cigar, Cohiba Esplendido. I mean, you can't go over that much.
No.
I don't know what will be next year, but you can't go much over that.
You can't get better than Esplendidos. In my opinion, I think that Cuba produces... Cohiba. Cohiba produces a bunch of cigars which are decent, in my opinion. But the 3 lines that Cohiba produces that are just exceptional all the time, with some age, Lancero, Esplendidos, Robusto. And I might put in the Siglo 5, but the Siglo 5...
Beike is there as well. Always been there, always will be there.
I don't know about the Behique, I'm not too keen on the Behiques.
I'm curious, are they going to produce something like Gran Reserva Behique? I was thinking about that the other day. Is it possible?
Because you can't go higher than Esplendidos.
Is it possible to produce a Reserva or Gran Reserva Behique? Because Behique is a standard production. It's not limited. It's a linear Behique. So you do different linears. So Robusto, Esplendido, that's the same linear Classica. They do Siglo 4, Siglo 6 as a Reserva. That's a linear Siglo.
Yeah.
What if they produce only linear Behique or maybe the Maduro?
Here's what I think they'll do, right? They might produce a Gran Reserva Behique or a Reserva Behique. It's going to be like 2012, probably, because it has to be, right? 2010. Which year was the one where they won Cigar of the Year?
Well, 2010, I think.
2010. Yeah. Okay, so 2010, 2011, 2012. One of those years, right? Where it's going to be like the Behiques were like the Behiques. They're going to do that, but they're not going to make it in like a standard box. They're going to do like some crazy humidor.
If they produce Gran Reserva, it need to be 5 years ago, so they can't go older than that.
They can't go older?
No. Gran Reserva is 5 years, Reserva is 3 years.
I thought they can do older.
No, 3 years Reserva, Gran Reserva 5 years.
So they don't do older than 5 years?
Older is Añejo, but there is a different line.
Yeah.
Añejo is different aging and stuff like that. But if they're going to produce Gran Reserva second band or Reserva, you need to be 3 or 5 years old.
So we're talking 2017, 2018, probably 2019?
It's a speculation.
Speculation, yeah.
They're not going to do next 2-3 years Cohiba.
No.
You see, the last Cohiba was Robusto, which is 2018.
Yes.
So that's what, 3 years?
5 years.
Oh, 5 years. So next year they're going to produce some of the other ones. Probably some other iconic cigar. The way they're doing it, not going to be surprised if it's like, they don't want it to, they do Hoyo, Grand Corona, Double Corona, they do AP2. So maybe Romeo.
They might do Romeo.
Well, they do the White Churchill.
They might do Trinidad. Also, wait, no. Speaking of Trinidad, where's the Fundadores Aniados?
I don't see that one. I don't think they announced that one.
No, they didn't.
But
They
if you
didn't-
check in any book or anything, they're already in the list.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know where they are.
Trinidad Fundadores Aniados. They, a lot of people have been talking about it, and they're saying, that's going to be coming through, but nothing's come through so far. So that could be the next Aniados cigar, or it's already confirmed, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
It's already confirmed-ish. Officially not confirmed, but with all
Oh,
the
it's
right
in the
sources.
website. It's in the books.
There you go.
It's in the.
Oh, so it's already been confirmed.
Yeah, it's in the Cuban website and everything. So just there's no pictures yet.
It's just release date and so on and so forth. Yeah, but then you also have the Grand Reserva Mexique potential. I don't think
It's just we're talking that.
I know we're just talking, but here's what I think. Here's what I think. Because it's the Mexique and it's a Grand Reserva, they're not going to put it in like a normal box. They're going to make like a humidor out of it.
Or the Grand Reservas in different boxes anyway.
Yeah. Well, Grand Reservas come in like a slide, like a standard-ish.
But I don't know because Mexique is in a 10-count box. If they make Grand Reserva, they need to make a 15-count.
Yeah, and that's going to be like at least 15K.
Yeah, it's not. It was just a troll like that. I mean, it's
no. But do you
not
think
going to happen?
it could happen?
Because
Though. It's a good
Mexique,
idea. It's a good idea because people will buy that. People will
They'll buy
happily
anything,
pay.
man.
People will happily pay 20K for that.
They'll buy anything.
People will happily pay 20K for something crazy like that, and they could just use tobacco from 2020. So 2 years from now, potentially you might see that.
We'll see.
How's your cigar coming?
Very well. I'm enjoying it.
Mine too. Mine's got.
Right. I think it's already been a long time. I don't know if people wants to listen and watching us. It's been enjoyable talking. I mean, I know you like talking about Cubans. I'm not that fussed about it, but yeah, we'll see.
I'm excited about next week though, because next week we're talking about your trip to Nicaragua. That, honestly, don't get me wrong, I like talking about Cubans. I love talking about Cuban cigars. You know this, but I'm really excited about next week. But I actually wanted to do the Nicaraguan trip this week, but then I had a conversation with you and you said, nah, actually let's leave that for the week after because let's get the Habanos Festival out of the way first. But I'm excited about the Nicaraguan trip.
Next week.
Next week, yeah. Next week, guys. Tune in. Make sure you subscribe, like, and do all of that good stuff. But Ray and I are going to be talking about his trip to Nicaragua. He went to several factories, and I'm excited about that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you sticking around and listening to our, ramblings, talking about Cuban cigars, my favorite kind of cigars.
Yeah, guys, enjoy your smokes. Stop stuck in cigars as furnitures. Smoke them. They're for smoking. Appreciate the people's effort.
I agree. Take care, guys.